Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Would you like to lead? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We got it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anita Go Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Go Haribo, 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 Haribo.
Welcome everyone to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. We are very happy to have all of you here. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Satatam kirtayantomam ye jana paripasite tesham nityabdhyuktanam yogakshemaham maham yaham. He recommends that we go on making the transcendental vibration. There is a difference between transcendental vibration and material vibration. In the Sri Upanishad, one of the 108 Upanishads, it is said, Anyarevahurasam bhavad, anyarahurasam bhavat. Iti shushumadhiranam yenastad vichichakshire. That there's one result obtained from worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and another result obtained by worshipping that which is not supreme. And before I continue, we have an important public service announcement given by Shraddha Devi Dasi, one of our head volunteers, and here she is.
Thank you so much. The family of Subrato Sanyal is waiting for him outside. So if you're inside, please step out and meet your family. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the family of Subrato Sanyal is waiting outside. So if you are hearing this, please step outside and meet your family. Thank you so much.
Also, if you all just want to decide to stay here permanently, we will make arrangements. This can be done. Anyarevahurasam bhavad, anyarahurasam bhavat, iti shushumadhiranam yenas tadvichichakshire. The Upanishads say that one result is attained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and another result is obtained by worshipping that which is not supreme. All this was heard from the undisturbed authorities who clearly explained it. So, in the science of Krishna consciousness, which is based on the principle of Shabda, which means sound vibration, sound can liberate us, or sound can bind us more and more in the anxiety of this material world. Anavritti Shabdat, Anibritti Shabdat. The Vedanta Sutra says, by transcendental sound, one becomes uncovered, one becomes liberated. But by hearing material sound, Narada Muni tells Srila Vyasadeva, his disciple, whatever you desire to describe in this world that's different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply agitates the mind with different names, forms, and result, just like a boat on water which is disturbed by the wind, which has no resting place. So, by coming together to purposefully hear about Krishna, to chant Krishna's names, one performs the greatest kind of yajna, or sacrifice, which pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that at the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods and said, be happy by performing yajna. Because by performing yajna, you'll get everything that you need. And in the Gita, Krishna also says, one who takes all the gifts that one gets in this world becomes a debtor. Actually, he says something even stronger. He says such a person is a thief. He's stealing. For what good result can one get if one is a thief? And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that even as we're born into this world, we're still carrying with us a debt from the last lifetime. Devarshi bhutapnandrinam pitrinam anakinkaro nayamrani charajan sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam pariyahrita kartam. But here's a great secret, how to get free from debt. You can't get free from debt by making more money. You can't get free from debt by working harder. You can't get free from debt by stopping your work. But Krishna says you can free yourself from all debt by dedicating your life to me. Dedicating your work to me. Yat karoshi adashnashi yat johosi dadasi yat tapasasi kontiyat tat kurushva manarpadam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, do it for me. Do it for Krishna. Vaishnavas, they keep the image of Krishna in their very homes. They can't wait just to come to the temple all the time, although that's their main concern. They want to come and ring the bell and see the form of the deity, smell the incense, hear the sound vibration inside the temple hall. It's very different from what you hear inside the office. Am I correct? I haven't been to the office lately. Yes or yes? Very different. You walk inside the temple, you ring the bell, you offer your obeisance, you smell the incense, you see the beautiful flowers, you see the image of the Lord, and you feel peaceful immediately. You don't even have to do anything. You're imperceptibly liberated at that moment. And Vaishnavas also keep the form of the Lord in their home, even the form of a picture, or they keep the murti of the Lord in their house. Because every day, those who are devotees, they wake up and they dedicate their day and their activities to the Lord. And when they come home at the end of the day, they say, Krishna, I'm back in your house. This is not my house, it's your house. If you ask a Vaishnav, where is your house? Then not my house, it belongs to Krishna. Where's your car? I don't have a car, I have Krishna's car. I'm just using temporarily. And if they go from one place to another, you ask a Vaishnav, where are you going? He or she will say, by Krishna's grace, Krishna willing, I'm going. Because the Vaishnava understands, I can't move in this world even 1 inch without Krishna's mercy. Therefore, the devotee of the Lord dedicates his life, his activities, his mind, everything to the service of Krishna. And those who become servants of the Lord are released from their debt. Gato mukundam prayahrita kartam. Mukunda means the one who gives liberation and saves us from the burning heat of this material world. So the Krishna consciousness movement is not a new thing. This has been going on since the beginning of time. There are many family-owned businesses in the world that are very famous. Let's name a couple in India. Tata. That's a family-owned business, isn't it? How about Birla? Birla is a family-owned business, very successful, been around for a long time. How about in Japan? Japan, there's one restaurant that's been there for 700 years, a restaurant hotel, the Hoshi Hotel and Restaurant. It's been there for 700 years. Same hotel, same family. What do you think? Is that the oldest family-run business? Family-run, family-owned business in the world? Maharaj says, no. At the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma gets the transcendental knowledge from Krishna from within the heart. Teni Brahma Hridayadari Kaviye Muyanti Yatsurayaha. Mentioned at the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma, the first created being, he receives knowledge from within the heart. And then Krishna instructs him, spread that knowledge, give it to your disciples. And those disciples pass it on to others. And therefore in the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna speaks to the Bhagavad Gita, he says he's following the same tradition. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashayo vidu sakalanena mahata yoganashta parantapa. He says, I'm re-speaking the same message that I spoke at the beginning of creation. I'm refreshing it just for the benefit of you and everyone in the world. So the family business of the Vaishnavas is to pass on transcendental knowledge to others. They compile this knowledge given by Krishna in the form of books, in the form of lectures, and then they pass it on all over the world. And that sound vibration that goes into the ears enters the heart. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Satam prasangam mamavirya sambido Vavanti hritkarna rasayana kata Taj joshanadashu apavarga vartmini Shradaratir bhaktir anukramishati. That just by sitting and hearing the sound vibration that comes through the family business, from Krishna to Brahma to Narada to Vyasa, all the way down to the present day, that acts like a medicine. And many medicines you take orally, some you take intravenously. This medicine you take through the ears. And when it enters the ears, it goes into the heart. And when it enters the heart, it makes a profound change in one's life. One feels different. One becomes freed from the obligations of the senses, which tell us to do so many things we don't want to do. Anybody ever had that experience? Did your senses ever tell you to do something that wasn't good for you? Did you ever walk by the refrigerator and somebody, a little voice in your head said, stop right there, get that gallon of ice cream in a spoon and eat the whole thing? No? Or is it just me? The senses have a mind of their own. But those who hear the transcendental sound vibration from the Bhagavad Gita, they become purified in heart. And they can conquer the lower self by the higher self. And what is that lower self and higher self? Krishna says, Indriyani pranyahur indrebhya param manaha manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe parasasutsaha. Lowest of all are the senses. Above the senses is the mind. Above the mind is the intelligence. And above the intelligence is the Atma. We're above the senses and the mind and the intelligence. But sometimes the senses rule. And they tell us to do things that we don't want to do, that are not good for us. But through the process of bhakti yoga, just hearing from Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, sitting with the devotees, then one develops spiritual integrity, spiritual strength, bala, through which one can move in this world by spiritual discretion. One's not ruled by the senses. So, just by hearing Krishna Katha, the transcendental vibration, every day, one has to renew one's practice every day. Start over every day and hear something from the Bhagavad Gita. We have an organization that you can join called CHAD. How many people here have heard of the organization called CHAD? Raise your hand. Any CHAD members? You see, this is a secret organization, so they're making a big risk by raising their hand. But you can also join this underground secret organization. And now, because you've all come here for this Janmastami ceremony, you're all trusted. We're all in the same family now together, because we're here all for the same purpose. I'm going to tell you about CHAD. CHAD means chapter a day. All these people who raised their hand, they made a vow. that every day they'll read at least one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That means just at least the Sanskrit, or at least just all the English translations in one chapter every day. Now, how long does that take? Chad members, Vittal, how long does it take you to chant one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, is that maximum or minimum? Maximum 10 minutes. Now, how many hours do we get in a day? 20. Approximately. How many hours do we all get in a day? Approximately 24. Vaisesika Das. Have you lost your mind? Of course, it's 24. So what's 10 minutes out of 24 hours to say one chapter of the words which emanated from the lotus mouth of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? That's called a good investment. But it's hard, isn't it? Because the lower self wants to dictate over the higher self. The lower self says, you'd rather do what? Fill in the blank. You'd rather watch television, cut the cord, get some scissors when you get home. I'll save you a lot of time right here. George taught me this. Cut the cord, get some shears, turn off the electricity first, and then just cut right through the cord. When the family comes home and says, let's watch TV, you say, sorry, there's no more cord. That'll save yourself about how many hours a day, Bhakti George, would you say? At least 5 hours a day, according to the national average. There's easily you can get in Chad after that, right? So many people have heard of the Bhagavad Gita. Many people say they love the Bhagavad Gita, but how many people actually read the Bhagavad Gita every day? A handful. So if you take up this practice, you'll notice for yourself a change in the way you think, in the way you move in the world, because the words coming from the Bhagavad Gita are the distilled essence of all Vedic wisdom that come from the mouth of God Himself. That is a fact. And all you have to do is hear it. All you have to do is ingest it, take it into your ears. So I suggest you join our organization, Chad, Chapter Day, here on Janmastami. Take a vow. Get yourself a Bhagavad Gita. We have them out there. Carry it with you wherever you go. And just take 5 to 10 minutes out of every day to recite the Bhagavad Gita. You can say one chapter. Are you ready to join? Say yes.
Yes.
No, say yes really loud. Say yes.
Yes.
That's not really loud. That's like on a scale of 1 to 10, that's like about a 2. We want to hit a 7. Would you like to join Chad?
Yes.
Okay, put up a Bhagavad Gita on the screen. Let's start tonight. Who's in the booth back there? Give us chapter 12. And actually, I see making her way back to the control booth, which is the most sophisticated control booth you might find in Silicon Valley. You see lights flashing back there in that little cave. We're broadcasting these classes all over the world. There are people watching right now from Saudi Arabia. There are people in Iran who are watching the broadcast tonight. There are people in China. There are people in Japan. There are people all over the world. And if I ask them to text in right now, they'll start texting in because they're watching from all over the world. These classes we have here at ISV are interactive. See the speaker up there? So during our classes on Saturdays, Sundays, Wednesdays, you can join the class over the internet. And you can watch it live, and you can also dial in on the phone. And if you want to make a comment or ask a question, you'll be here in virtual time, live, right in the class. And many people join the class that way. So now together we're going to sing one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And I need a timer, an official timer. Who's going to time it? We have a Swami who's going to keep the time, so we know it's going to be accurate, because Swamis are always on time. So we're going to chant the... Is that true? Okay, it's true. So now we're going to chant together the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Are you all ready? Yes. Now here's the rules. We want to stay in unison. We want to make it really sweet. This is Krishna's birthday. We're going to sing it to him. So he spoke this Bhagavad Gita. He asked us to read the Bhagavad Gita, pass it on to others. So now let's sing it for Krishna. You can look up at the screen. We'll go nice and slow, and we'll stay in sync all the way through, and we'll sing it very melodiously just so Krishna will hear it and appreciate it. This chapter is 12. It's called Bhakti Yoga. Atadvadashodhyayaha. Arjuna vacha evam satata yukta ye bhaktastvam paryupasate yecha paksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Shri Bhagavan uvacha maya veshya manoye mam nitya yukta upasate Shradaya parayopetas te me yukta tamamataha. In the booth, you're going to have to move a little quicker. Ye tvaksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gam achintyam cha kutastham achalam dhruvam saniyam yendriya gramam sarvatra sambhabudayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hiterataha klesho dikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi katir dhukam dehavadbhir avapyate. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamaham samudarta mrityu samsara sagarat vavamina chirat partha maya vechita chetasam mayeva mana adhatsva mahi buddhim niveshaya niveshishyasi mayeva ata urvam na samshayaha ata chittam samadatum na shakshnosi mayi sthiram abhyasa yogeno tato mami chaptun dhananjaya abhyase pyasamartosi matkarma paramo bhava madartam api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi athaitat apyashaktosi kartum mad yogam ashritaha sarva karma palatyagam tata kuru yatatmavan shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj jnanad jnanam vashishyate jnanat karma palatyagas tyagach chantir anantaram adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samatuka sukhashami santushta satatam yogi yatatma dhrita nishchayaha mayarpita mano buddhir yo madbhakta same priyaha yasmanod vijate loko lokanod vijate chayaha harsha bayodveger mukto yasa chame priyaha anapeksha shutir daksha udasino gatavyataha sarvarambha parityagi yo madbhakta same priyaha yo na hrishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhakti manya same priyaha samakshatra cha mitre cha tatamana pamanayoho shitoshna sukha dhukeshu Samaksanga vivarjitaha tulyanindastutirmauni santushto yena kenachit aniketas tiramatir bhaktiman me priyo naraha yetu dharmamritam idam yathoktam paryupasate shadadhana matparama vaktaste tiva me priya. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Bhakti Yogo Nama Dvadashodhyaha Hari Om. And now the translation. How long did that take, Maharaj?
5 minutes.
5 minutes exactly. How many people here can afford 5 minutes a day? Extra. You could squeeze it out somehow, right? Okay. So you can join Chad, no problem. Just pick up a Bhagavad Gita on your way out and chant 1 chapter a day. Now let's hear the English. This will be life-changing. So we'll take today as a new start on our life, because that's the most exciting thing about being a human being. Antelopes and sheep and ants, they can't change their direction in life. But human beings can decide at any time, I'm going to go a new direction, I'm going to make an improvement in my life. So Janmastami is the best time to start and say, I'm going to be different tomorrow than I was today. And I'm going to do it for Lord Krishna, and then He'll help us from within the heart. So we can start this habit of saying the Bhagavad Gita chapter once a day. And here's the translation to chapter 12. And let's say it together. And the best way to stay in sync is to observe the punctuation marks. Comma means take a little pause. Period means please stop. Ready? Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshiping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons, engaged in the welfare of all, at last achieve me. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. He by whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces all auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service. Such a person is very dear to me. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Congratulations for joining Chad. And now we'll show you the Chad page. You see chapter a day. You can join us on Facebook and log in your progress on Chad, hear from others. You see Satyadev's picture? He's sitting right over here. See him on the screen there with his nose in the Bhagavad Gita? That's him right here, one of the original members of Chad. You can have a look at him right here. So please join the Chad organization. It's on the honor system. You just have to pick up a Bhagavad Gita every day and go through one chapter, and your life will be completely transformed and different after you take up this practice. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Or your money back. We'll quadruple your money back for your Bhagavad Gita that you buy here if you're not completely satisfied after trying this for even 1 week. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Now, you don't have to go home. We're going to be here all night. Nice to see you all. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Mic stand. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Can feel free to stand up and move a little bit and dance if you like. No harm if you want to stand up and dance. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. There's dancing in the spiritual world. So if you want to stand up and sway to the music, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Stand up for a few minutes, you won't lose your place. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Taki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Premanande, Thai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Thai Gaur Hari Bol. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jaya. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jaya. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jaya. Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jai Jaya. Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jai Jaya. Hey Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jaya. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jaya. Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jai Jaya. Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jai Jaya. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Kishori Harmonium, Avantika Kartals, Keshavari Das Goswami, Satyadev Prabhu Kartals, Prashant on backup Madunga, Sunanda Prabhu Kartals, for the Hare Krishna singers, for the Hare Krishna dancers, Go Premanande, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Go Premanande, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Shri Harinam Mantra ki, Shri Harinam Prabhu ki, Shri Krishna Janmastami Mahotsav ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Go Premanande, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ji ki. And now we're counting down the minutes until the midnight artik. And in the meantime, we're going to hear from His Holiness Keshavari Das Goswami. He's going to pass on some of his realizations.